This story is a series. If you have not watched the previous episodes, please start from the beginning, or from your most recently watched episode. Thank you for watching. Sal awoke to the sporadic shot of back pain striking and clenching its teeth down on his spine. He sharply stood, smashing his head on the shelter as it shattered and spread its pieces over the grassy ground.
Sorry, mate. Must have bumped my head on the way out.
No problem, mate. It's just a bunch of sticks and leaves anyway. Maybe we can use that other one you made up.
You think more of those bloody creeps are coming back today?
Not sure, mate. Could be. Maybe we should make a move and look for a way off this place before they get back.
Good plan. Maybe we can keep an eye out for other people.
Defo, mate. Sal had set his mind on searching for the goods today, or finding Eddie. Either way, he thought it would help him find the evidence. He needed to get to it before somebody else could. If the authorities came to rescue them, he had to hide it and make sure he found it again when he arrived to pick it up. If someone found all of that, he'd be going away for a long time. Mate, maybe we should try and get some more things built around here. If we're here for a while, we should maybe set up some sticks and try meat on it. It could make a big difference if we got to walk out of here. What if we got to take a boat for a few days?
Yeah, you're right. We should still go out. What if those muddy pricks find others before us?
Good point. Let's hit the bush before they come back. The brisk wind whisked through the forest, batting his burly face. He wondered how long they'd be stuck out here. If they'd have to survive a winter in this forest. That thought was a bad one. Although, a thought returned to him, and he remembered if somebody found those suitcases full of product, it would be prison for him on his arrival home, and it was a life sentence awaiting him. That was something he was sure of. If the authorities found the product on the plane, they would make this whole crash, the dead stewardess, and all the events that occurred be pinned on him. He needed to find it, and/or Eddie. The search brought them to an open field, some sticks sticking out of the ground stuck out to Sal. As his vision grew more clear as he drew closer, he saw what looked like heads mounted on spikes. What was this? Some sort of tribal scare tactics? They looked old and rotting. These weren't people from the plane. Disgusted Sal, he could feel his stomach twisting and turning with the thoughts. Hated these creatures. They were just killing people and sticking their heads on stakes. What the hell was wrong with them? What the hell are these things?
I don't know, mate. They got skulls and heads on them. What in the hell's going on here?
Mate, I don't know. We need to get the hell out of this place, though.
Mate, help me knock these trees down.
We should just go.
Yeah, nah. Let's break them before we go. It takes a bloody second.
He wanted to take from these cannibals their creations as they did the heads of their prey. They didn't deserve anything from these lands. Sal wanted to take every drip or drop of water, every little stone and stick they had. He was so filled with anger. He wondered how many people died at the hands of these savage beings. How many people begged for their life with words that meant less than the maggots that now crawled in their rotting flesh. Like a boiling pot, he could feel that hatred that got him into trouble many times bubbling up inside. He saw Richard sharpening his spear, adding broken spiked bones on the side. Sal wanted to make the same improvements and graciously accepted Richard's gift of bones.
Mate, we gotta find some cover from this rain.
I hear ya. We're gonna get sick if we stay wet into the night. We're gonna need to find somewhere to start a fire. The rain was starting to soak through Sal's clothes. He hated the rain. It was one of his favorite things about Australia, the low rainfall. He followed Richard. The trees they walked through gave them little relief from the downpour of water from the dark clouds above. He needed to find somewhere to escape the soaking surprise that washed over the lands. He hoped it would be a warm cabin with a burning fireplace. Maybe a barbecue on the porch with shrimp cooking covered in garlic. He could feel his mouth start to fill with the drops of saliva at the thought of cooking shellfish. Over here, mate. I think I got somewhere. What had Richard found? Sal hoped it was a nice cabin, a fridge full of beer, and a pack of cigarettes. That's not what it was, though. Dirt and grime-covered crevice smashed the glass dream Sal had made in his head. What was in this cave, though? The first thing he thought of was the cave being filled with those creatures. What if Eddie had hid in that cave, though? It'd be a good spot if you weren't in the plane. Wait, maybe Eddie was in the front of the plane. Sal tried to remember his seat number, but the jumbled math in his mind gave too many incorrect answers.
You reckon someone could be hiding in there?
Don't know, mate. At least we can head in and make a fire and warm up. Dry off.
Good point, mate. Let's get in there.
The smell made flashbacks in his mind. He knew what was in here, and he didn't want to expand his mind on what they could find. Bloody hell, mate, the smell in here is absolutely full.
Oh, bloody hell.
What the hell is that?
I hate to say it, but that's the smell of death, mate.
What do you mean, like dead animals?
Maybe, mate. It could be worse. Where's the rest of those heads? I mean, I've done some hunting, and if you leave the guts out...
Oh, mate. I'm gonna throw up.
It's bloody dark in here.
I don't feel good about this, Sal.
Mate, don't you worry. Big ol' Sally is here to keep you safe.
Shh. Did you hear that, Sal?
I did, mate. It was like grunting. You think those little pricks are in here?
Look, right there. Shit, Sal, he's running at me. What the hell is wrong with you, you daddy?
Take this, you mucky bastards.
He knew the smell was the rotting flesh of corpses. Sal once had been beaten within an inch of his life and thrown in a bin with others who's met a fate that was worse than his. They left him there for a week.
Die, you bloody bastards.
It was brutal and didn't tolerate the mistakes that Sal had made. But if he didn't find the drugs, he'd be making another mistake. I think it's safe to say these guys aren't friendly.
I said that before, mate. On the plane. Plus those head things. I think these people are bloody cannibals.
I know, Sal. I think you're right.
Yeah, mate. Kill on sight. No remorse.
I don't think anybody's alive in here, Sal.
What about captives?
Maybe. We'll have to take a look. What do you think? They keep them for, like, dinner later?
I don't know, mate. This is all so... bad.
Well, at least if they came looking for Sal, they'd be rescued. If they found them, as long as Sal had the product, he was sure he'd let them live. And Richard, too.
Is that a bloody arm, mate? Wait, there's a bunch of them. What the bloody hell is all this?
Sal's train of thought was derailed by complete disaster and disarray surrounding him. Viscera was flung on all the stalagmites and stalactites, the cave walls covered with slimy guts and blood. These cannibals were savages, probably dragging people down into the caves and tearing them limb from limb before devouring the remains. This was disgusting. He had seen bad things in prison at the cartel houses, but nothing to this scale. For once in his life, Sal could feel his stomach doing flips inside him. These creatures pulled the hatred from deep inside him. He wanted to take the life from them just like they had to all these people they killed. He wondered how many fell victim to their feral crimes. How many climbed from the wreckage of the plane thinking that they lived to be dragged down into the abyss that were these caves of slaughter. How many people had come to this place and died? Hikers, planes, boats, he didn't know, but he wanted revenge for the people who had been hurt. The train tracks connected to the wheels as the train returned to his mob thoughts, although anger growled behind the gate in his head. Maybe he should let Richard in on the idea. No, that might push him away from Sal. He still wasn't 100% sure that he wasn't the air marshal. That thought had seemingly escaped his mind for a while, but now returned as the thoughts of his criminal past arose again. He felt good removing another pustule from this earth. The growing anger had become quiet, and maniacal laughs had now begun murmuring in his head. But Richard's voice returned that previously departed train to his mind. Oi, you think there's something in there?
Huh? What? That wood?
What do you think's down here?
Looks like a stash to me, mate.
What are these, old Polaroids? These look ancient. Was there a photographer on the plane, do you know?
I don't think I saw one, mate.
Richard had watched him cut into the stewardess. Maybe he was building a case. He'd have arrested him right then and there. But no cuffs, these cannibals running around, that would be stupid. And he didn't think Richard was stupid. With that, he returned to the crossroads in which he found himself many times since the plane crash. Was Richard the air marshal? Once he knew for sure Richard was on his side, he would tell him. If he didn't like it, they could just go on their own separate ways. The warm fire helped Sal feel more content with his thoughts. He calmed, and the situation he was in became unraveled. A slight crack in his robust personality revealed a memory of sitting at a fireplace as a kid, Christmas stockings hanging from the mantel. But that crack was quickly sealed and closed up as thoughts of the drugs returned. The cave system had given Sal more insight. The luggages could be very far down into some of these grottos. He knew if his supplements were down there, he would have no problem leaving them there. The police or the authorities would never find them. Not unless Eddie lived, escaped, and ratted out Sal. Sal still wanted to find them, though. The 7 luggages, all different colors, that's where the products were. The total value of all the product well into the hundreds of thousands. It was a lot of money. Sal let out a huge sigh. Although if he didn't bring the product and sell it, the cartel would surely kill him. At least they wouldn't eat him. For now, his mind was at an impasse. His thoughts were a mess, a splattered painting of disorganized ideas and outcomes. Sal, mate, where are you?
Richard, where did you go?
Sal, I hear you. I'm over here.
Where? Your voice is bouncing a bit.
Go to the fire, mate. There's a crack. I'm coming back to get you. How easy it was to get lost and separated inside these caves, solidified inside of Sal's mind. Over here, mate. You gave me a bloody heart attack.
Yeah, I thought one of those bastards grabbed you.
Come this way. I got something to show you. I think people are hiding here.
I definitely wouldn't hide in this bloody place.
Richard was right. This did look like somewhere people were holding out. The chairs and empty food containers. He looked for something, anything, that could link this small camp to Eddie. He checked the luggages, but no supplement. But if Eddie was here, he would have taken them anyway. That's when he saw Richard standing over a nice suitcase. Sal recognized it immediately as his own. A small prayer went out in his head. I think maybe they didn't make it back.
I think you're right. It looks like maybe they left for a bit.
But what if they've gone, and they come back and all this stuff's gone?
Let's grab their shit and go.
He could finally change into the clothes that he wanted to wear onto the plane. He cracked them open and they fit perfectly. He checked the pockets. There should be a ceramic knife and a small plastic vial of product. But where were they? Maybe we should leave this stuff.
Mate, you and I both know they ain't coming back. We need this to live. These guys are dead. You know that. I know that.
You're right. You're right. The rage returned to his eyes, becoming tunneled. Eddie must have been here. Took the stuff. Even the cash from his wallet was gone. He wanted to break his spear, snap its shaft in half, but he held back the tantrum to keep the hatred from Richard's knowledge. If he found Eddie, he would strangle the life out of his body. It was dry enough from the fire and the torch. He just wanted the rain to be gone when he made it out. And luckily the shining light into the cave's exit reminded him of Sydney's beautiful beaches. Thank you everyone for coming to watch the second part of the second episode of the Forest Story series. If you enjoyed the video, please leave us a like. If you want to watch more of the series or other stories, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Lastly, leave me a comment down below. Do you think Sal's gonna give up his search for the supplements and deal with the wrath of the cartel? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.